Shut up and sit down.
Happy New Year! Here we are, episode 330 of Third Shift. It's the brand new year. It's 2023, and we are so excited to be here. We got all sorts of cool things to talk about today. It's a new time. We got new dreams. We got to see if we've accomplished the old dreams and then give you the new ones and talk about what we plan to do in this beautiful year, 2023, where anything is possible. Anything. Okay? Because I'm Mr. Eric. I'm here today with you. We're going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of sadness, all sorts of fun little things. And with me, as always, is the inglorious bastard himself. It's Mr. Matt. He's here too in this brand new, beautiful year we have going. What's going on, Matt? What's the job? What's the feelings? How's it feel to be in that brand new year? How's it feel? Did you put those pants on? They fit just right? Everything just seems to be hunky-dunky?
Okay, two things. First off, your intro was awesome, I'm assuming, because Discord immediately cut it out because it does it with anything that sounds like a sound effect. Mm-hmm. So I heard, psh, whoop, ah, yay! That's literally all I heard. I'm assuming he's doing fireworks because you did firework hands. Okay, that's great. That's why I couldn't comment on it or join in at all. And two, peek behind the scenes, everybody. We're not in the new year yet. I'm still in the old year. I got 2 feet in the old year. I'm looking. The new year's coming because we had to record it early because of quarter end. The best thing to start your year. The best thing to start any year. It's just nonstop overtime and madness. It's great. And working hard and sweating, and it's fantastic. But you know what? By the time this drops, I will have both feet in the new year, and I'll be feeling just great. Just fantastic. I won't be tired. I won't be grumpy at all. Nothing bad will happen. And nothing bad did happen, because I'll give you the Christmas rundown also, because it's the first proper episode since the Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And you remember all the stuff that I said I was going to do? We're going to do all these cool things. You have to do absolutely none of them because of big giant snowstorm we had, canceling stuff. And then people were sick, canceling stuff. So I did absolutely nothing. But we had Christmas. Went to Mom's house. We did Christmas like we always do. Got some cool stuff. Had a good time. That was nice. Just none of the extended stuff. All that was gone. What's in its place? All I've been doing on the video game front is playing Vampire Survivors nonstop, all the time. I at work, before work, after work. It's a great time. It's a great fun time. I will say though, I unlocked everything, like not everything, but I unlocked stuff like super easy. And there's like that main screen where you power up, kind of like in Hades when you go to the mirror and buy stuff. I bought everything that's on there now. I mean, obviously I unlock new stuff as you go and whatever, but I'm just too good at games. It's hard to be so cool like me. And then now I miss that. I kind of miss those initial runs where everything's kind of super hard and super scary. You know what I mean? It's a fun game, but you get what I'm saying, where you're scratching and clawing. But having a great time with it. That's it. That's all my week. That's all you get. That's all there is. In this new year, I don't talk about my week that much, except for next week when I'll probably do that. What about you, Eric?
That's right. You are correct. I can't actually give you the future self yet because it hasn't happened, but I can give you Christmas as well. So, like you said, the big storm came through. You know, that Siberian storm had us all in lockdown, the snow and the cold, which snow is a joke. There actually wasn't really that much snow.
No.
So that part didn't happen. But the cold did. It was like -20. They're like, oh, if you go outside, you're going to die. And naturally, I had to go out for something. I didn't go out, but I went outside. Man, I'll tell you what. Woo, boy. A few minutes in, fingers are tingling. Them lips are tingling. The face starts to freeze. It was pretty cool. You know, we've had that temperature before, obviously, but it's nice just to once in a while get it and go out there and go, oh yeah, this is actually like really cold. This is cold stuff, not just regular cold. So that was pretty neat. Like you, we didn't do much. We kind of just hung out inside. The New Year's Eve, we did go over to some family friend's house and had a wonderful meal. They had all the goodies, all the fixings. You know, everybody was bringing dishes to pass, doing the whole nine. So had the kids doing gifts over there, hanging out with friends, eating great food. I mean, I stuffed myself. We ate at like 2 o'clock, and by the time bed came, I was still stuffed. I still could not even fathom eating food. It was too much. I went overboard. Shouldn't have done it, but couldn't help it because, like I said, it was just, oh man, just it hit the spot. So I had a great time then. And of course, on Christmas morning, woke up at 6:45 a.m., coming around the tree. Ching, 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 ching. Santa's arrived. The kids come out. All the presents getting torn open, drinking coffees, hot cocos. Classic Christmas. Nothing fancy. Made a nice breakfast. Everybody got what they wanted. Pancakes, waffles, eggs, the whole thing. Whatever anybody wanted, I was cooking. That way you could have a Merry Christmas. Did all that. Then the kids played with their gifts. We watched a couple Christmas movies and just hung out. So, oh, and then last part of it. Yeah, well, we had such a great Christmas meal yesterday. What's the point of cooking a whole nother one? We could go get Chinese food. So, called up my favorite Chinese place, put in a big old order, went and picked it up, drove home, and just boom, on the table. Boom, 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 boom. All the different things, the lo meins, the rices, the kung paos, this and that and this and that. Just feasted.
I will say that was the one thing that I did do that I talked about planning. I was sitting here by myself on Christmas Day. We didn't really feel like doing anything. I went, you know what? Put in that order for Fortune House. I'll put it in for an hour and a half from now. Drove over there, got there a little early, sat in the car, walked in at time. 1 million people in this restaurant. The whole floor is soaked from everybody's snowy boots. And the whole family, like all the extended family, everybody's in the back. Faces I've never even seen before are coming in, going in the back, throwing stuff in bags. She's like, oh my God, everybody just sit down. I'll just call out the numbers, the phone numbers on the orders. That's it. Just everybody sit. No, don't talk to me. We're busy. Oh, we're going mad. And it was delicious, as it always is. It was fantastic.
So much the same at our particular joint where we go. The family was all back there, and the mother, she is a character. She's a character. She's back there screaming and hollering and just obviously in a foreign language that I do not know, and she's just going to town. She's always like this, but today, like you said, it was packed. There were people everywhere. There's people just coming in and coming in and coming in and coming in. The phone was just ringing. It didn't stop. And it's just the whole time I'm sitting in my little chair patiently waiting for my number to be called and just
Nice.
It was just crazy. And you're watching the husband, he's just back there flying around, pans going everywhere. He's just cooking like 7 different things at once. It was fantastic. It was wild. You hate to see it, but you love to see it. It was one of those deals that's cool to see, but you're like, oh, these poor guys and gals, they're working their dang butts off today. That sucks for them. But of course they don't. I don't know if they celebrate. I don't know. Obviously not since they're at work all day. But so it was a time.
But I mean, it is probably the most money they're going to make, in just a single day and forever.
Easily. Yeah.
So, and everybody in my area, they were all patient. We're all just waiting, just staring at our phones like typical humans.
Well, that's what we all do now. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the onset of the phone, I think that changed the game up a bit. Everybody's not so mad about having to wait. Just, whatever. What's Twitter got to say? Okay. There we go.
Yep.
So besides all that, the only game I've been really playing, I have played WoW, but nothing extreme, is Final Fantasy Crisis Core. I wanted to finish it before the year was out. If you heard the last episode, I got to the last point, the last boss, last mission, but I can't go forward until I finish up the side missions. So I was doing a little bit of that. I think last night I got a little bit more done of that.
It's been a whole week, Eric. You haven't even done anything yet since the last episode? What's wrong with you? Har, 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 har.
So I did play that. Had a good time with it. I will wrap it up. By the time you hear my voice next, that game will be done and put to bed. And I'll be working on, I don't know, whatever I can work on. Probably Horizon. It'll be the next one I work on until Dead Space.
Callisto Protocol, man.
Where's
that at?
That needs to come to it. Game Callisto, I was looking forward to you for a long time. Bye.
Come on, man. You got all morning to get all your stream rig all up, Then I could watch you stream while I'm doing quarter end.
Yeah.
Because you totally be allowed to do that all day long.
You should be allowed to do that. That is a natural thing we do, right? At work, yeah.
No, I mean, you would be allowed the free time to get it going.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yes. Yeah, I'm going to have that free time for sure, yes. Oh, guaranteed. With everybody here, I naturally think that that's going to happen.
Yes.
It's a lie. It's not going to happen. Anyways, that's been my week. That's been what I've been up to in this little time frame at which we've been talking this weird kind of time jumping stuff going on. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. It's a new year. I don't even know what happened last year anymore. It's over.
That's a lie, Eric. You do know what happened last year, and we got to talk about it because it's time for the third shift New Year's resolution special, and we can't make new ones without looking back at the old ones. And I was just going to throw it right back to you, but I see the sadness in your eyes. I see the frown on your face. I'm not going to do it. I'll start off with me. And, we can kick it back and forth, or we can just bust through it mostly. How about let's do like two apiece, back and forth, and then we'll do that. So I'm going to start off with things that were done well, the successes. First off, my first New Year's the first New Year's resolution I'll talk about that was a success was at the start of last year. I said, hey, no more new games until I go on my cruise. And that was absolutely a success because I didn't buy any new games, I didn't play any new games. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was the first thing after when the cruise would have been because it got delayed to this year. I mean, I was going to say this coming year, but now it's this year as you're hearing this. Delayed to 2023. That was a success. And then I think it was around June, July when we did our Shifter Monthly Topic Resolutions Catch-Up episode. I said, okay, that's it. I can't do it. No more new games until the end of the year. And I'm going to say that's a success. And everybody who hears this is going to say, what are you talking about, man? I always hear you talking about new games and stuff. Well, the reason I make those resolutions are so I do get through games that are in my backlog. I finished Triangle Strategy. I finished Saints Row, Persona 5 Strikers, all these other things that, Saints Row is different because it was a pre-order, so it didn't count for the list. But the reason I say that is so I don't just put 10 other games in the queue and then it pushes everything back. I was still getting through older games. I was still playing games that were in the queue. The queue is so big that there are still games that I didn't get to, but I did get to some big games. They're finished. They're done. I didn't get distracted by a ton of new games that I just kept buying. And then the other resolution that is, I would say, a 90% success, playing one Games Pass game a month. I think there were 1 or 2 months all of last year that I did miss out because I got distracted with something like Elden Ring or something on the PS5 or on the PC itself. But pretty much, as I go through my book here of my log of games from last year, I did play a Game Pass game pretty much every single month. So that's another success. So 2 good ones there. Come on now. Give me 2 good ones for you.
All right. I'll give you 2 good ones. I failed all of them, so it doesn't really matter. But here, one of them, Matt, if you remember, was, hey, get your butt down in that basement and turn it into just an actual room that isn't just a collage of everybody's random things. Maybe that's I can just put this place together so it looks like a living room, basically, with my gaming setup. That didn't happen. It looks pretty much, it's cleaner than it was last year, but it's not any better than it was last year.
So you made a step forward. It's at least cleaner. It's better.
There's less clutter, but the room did not change fundamentally in any way, shape, or form. So, unfortunately that didn't happen. Now, on that note, though, the urinal finally came out, as you know. A very new budding thing in the process. So that's part of it, right?
Well, see, I was going to say it, but I didn't want to bring up the bathroom project. You're going to be turning your bathroom into your own special bathroom now.
Yeah, my own little gaming bathroom.
Part of it, your little gaming bathroom. So you can sit on the toilet with your Switch and go, do-do-do-do-do, hooray.
And then look at my cool, extra, cool gaming stuff that doesn't fit anywhere over here in there. So it's like, I don't know. There you go. There's some progress, everybody. Maybe next year I'll do it. Who knows what my stuff's going to be. I'll tell you in a little bit. And then another great failure. Play all the biggest games of the year. That didn't happen. I only played and beat 7 games, 8 games this year. So, yeah. And I played the 2 biggest. So, there's a partial, I suppose. Got God of War and Elden Ring under the belt. But I did not play all the biggest games this year by any stretch.
That is what I was going to give you. I was like, you played through and beat both of the 2 biggest and probably the ones you would say are the 2 best of the year.
Hands down.
The ones that everybody was vying 1 and 2 in Game of the Year. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's a total failure. Obviously, you didn't finish Horizon, but you did play a whole bunch of Horizon.
Yeah. And that's it. I played some of a couple other of the bigger games, but never beat them. Those are the only 2 I did beat. I feel like I just couldn't keep up this year around. I don't know if it was just the length of games or trapping myself into some of the RPGs or something I did, But we talked about it briefly. It's just, I don't know, the time just went like this. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, it came to the end of the year, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't really finish much of anything. And like I told you, I played 31 games this year on the PlayStation 5. And beat all of like 3 or 4 of them or whatever it was on the PlayStation. I'm like, whoa, well, I probably should go back in my library and figure out what the hell I got and played, because I don't even know what half of those 31 games are. So I'll be interested to go do that. I kind of tried to do it before the show started, but I wasn't really seeing. I saw like 2 extra ones I'd forgotten about. But beyond that, I'm like, I don't know where the hell this thing's getting 31 games played from, because I don't see it, and I don't remember it whatsoever. So that's 2 of them, Matt. 2 of them, a partial on one, and the other obviously failed.
Let me jump in and say, you saw that 31 games thing on your PlayStation wrap-up thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that was kind of screwy anyway, because it said, like, hey, here's the first trophy you earned in the year. And it was my first, like, ever trophy that I got on, like, Heavy Rain on the PS3, like, however many years ago, like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's maybe just throwing in, like, its dates are all screwed up or something. But when I did mine, it was like, yeah, here's the first one you earned. And I went, like, the first one ever, not like from this year. So I don't know. Maybe it's that.
I'm wondering if, like, every time I downloaded a game, like from PS Plus, it counts that as a game played. Mm-hmm. Like, every game I put in my library or whatever.
That was the other thing I was going to say.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that, or it's just hinky, because I'm like, there's no way I played 31 games. I played maybe 11 or 12, like, tops. There's no way I played more than that. So, yeah, that thing was wonkalicious over there.
So, back to me. I will say the next one, I only have 3 more, so I'll just do them all in a bunch, especially the last 2 were complete failures, so they'll go quick. But the last one that is a partial success was just a generic one of having more fun, smiling more, which leads into the next one. But I also, as I listened to it back, I looped that into seeing lots of shows, seeing lots of movies, having fun streaming and not stressing about streaming. Generally being positive and smiling a lot more, not so good on that one, but I have been seeing a ton of shows, having a great time, going down to Detroit, seeing some comedy shows, laughing a whole bunch, watching all kinds of movies like I always do, and then streaming. I've been having the most fun streaming that I almost ever have since maybe the Death Stranding days or the Thronebreaker days. I mean, doing the Final Fantasies was a great idea. I'm glad I came up with it because it's just a ton of fun. I'm always having fun, even if nobody's there watching. I'm still there doing the voices and having a great time. And when people are there bopping in and out, I mean, Howard was just in the stream not too long ago, chatting up a storm. It felt good. It felt right. So a partial success. Not so much on the external real world front, which ties into one of my resolutions is just being more positive, being a more positive person, having a smile on my face, thinking positive. Ultimate fail. Awful. I'm just always miserable. I'm just a cranky old man right now. And that leads into, hey, eating better and having better health and exercising. I even said, I got to do it, so I'm just going to do it. And I sure didn't. I mean, I've exercised here and there, but nothing consistent. I'm still just a fat old man. It's no fun. So 2 very deep failures. 1, partial success. Throwing it back to Eric. Give me a good one, Eric. Give me a successful one. Come on, give me something good.
I said I'm going to play 6 indies like I did in the previous year because I enjoyed it. It was actually quite fun. Well, I didn't do that. I played 2 indies and beat them, and then I got through halfway of another. So, yeah, didn't even come close. 2 finishes, 1 partial, and didn't even touch, the other 3 that I was going to get to. Didn't happen. Like I just talked about. The time just flew by and never ended up on the plate. Not to mention Game Pass. I ended up dropping it just because I wasn't playing it enough to where I thought my money was getting, its value. Which basically that was the indie generator right there. That's where I was playing most of them at in the first place. So that fell off, which pretty much axed that anyway. Unless I was really going nuts and buying them on PlayStation, which obviously I didn't do, except for Cult of the Lamb, and Stray was free, so I didn't even have to worry about it. And the other one was the Atelier, not Atelier Ryza, Euden Chronicles Rising.
Oh, yeah.
And I played through more than half of that, I think, but I never finished it. So, didn't count. But there you go, that's one I didn't get to. What else? I got the play my damn Switch. Play the Switch games and beat your Switch games. Well, that didn't happen.
Hey, man, I saw you playing some Metroid Dread. Come on
I did
now.
play more Switch. I played Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm about 15, 20-ish hours into that. I played a little more Dread, got it through a whole nother, area, killed another one of the Emmys or whatever. And then also played a whole bunch of Monster Hunter Rise with Shay. So there was Switch time put in finally. At least it didn't sit and just get no play time like it pretty much did the previous year. So I'll give it a little bit of A for effort, still failure. Like the teacher always does, a little smiley face. You tried, but you failed. One of those. And then I'll bring back a really quick one that wasn't a really resolution for either of us, more of a joke. But someday, see about adding and changing up the show and doing all that stuff. And
Yeah,
we didn't really do that either. We laughed and joked about it back then. I don't think we ever planned on doing it, but I just heard that and I'm like, oh yeah, we did. I did say that, didn't I? But my real failure was I was trying to get to the point, like Matt, where it's just back to old school Eric, where I don't care. I'm just cruising, having a good time. I'm not worried about anything. There's been moments, there's been weeks where I've been back to that and felt great and was just like, hey, whatever. Life is pretty good. It's not all that bad. And I told Matt, I think there was like a day last week where it was just an epiphany for a little bit. And just, I felt right there. And then it just died out. And of course, naturally it's going to happen because we're just on the cusp of the worst time of the year for us and our work, etc. There was no way it was going to stick. But I think in the summertime, I can't remember when, there was like a 2-week period where I felt I was 100% in that zone. I was just like skipping around, didn't care, camping, having a good time, not worried about nothing. And I felt it. It felt great, but it didn't stick. So unfortunately, didn't get there. I still sit here and go, oh man, boo, boo, boo.
I think it doesn't help too that, I'm not saying anything that you don't already know, but with your camping, like it hits like summer through like early fall. And that's the most fun that you have. So it doesn't help that the year is kind of bookended with, hey, it's January, it's quarter end. Oh, you still don't have a lot of time off to take free. Hey, it's a bunch of fun time. And then thunk, the next chunk is just, it's back to
the fall.
You even
Christmas.
say it. No more fun anymore. Okay, well.
Here we go. Just gotta work.
Like a 10 to 9 month stretch. Just until you get back to fun.
Yeah, pretty much, 9-month stretch of just meh. And then summertime of just visiting, camping, going to Kings Island, doing this, doing that. Whoa, yay, everything's great. I love it all. And then nothing. And then doing the little, I got like 3 days. What do I do? Oh, man, I could squeeze in this one day here of happiness, but that's about it. That's all I get. Yeah, so it is a pain in the butt. For sure. You failed, Eric. You did it again. Congratulations. I'm almost impressed. How'd you do it?
So now we're gonna close the door on last year and the old resolutions. We can forget all about that because you didn't fail, because now it's a new year. It's a fresh new you. It's a new year, new you. That's what everybody says. It's just like, I was just going to say, it's like when you jump out of the shower and your hair is all fresh and washed, but that doesn't make sense to you. Maybe like your goatee is all fresh and washed.
There you
like,
go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right, cool. But it's a fresh new year, so you got a fresh new perspective. I'm going to hit you with 2 of my new resolutions, which are old resolutions. One, which is play Games Pass once a month, play a Game Pass game once every single month, carrying it over because that gets me onto my Xbox, or it gets me here onto the PC. And I always find something new and fresh on Game Pass, something cool. And maybe it's just something I expected. Oh, I'll play some Halo or some whatever. If I'm putting good time into a system that I paid a lot of money for and a service that I don't pay a lot of money for, but I pay for it every month, it's just a good idea to keep doing it. And it's always fun. So that's an easy one, pretty easy one for me to keep, as we have seen from the last couple of years. And then carrying over another resolution. No new games until after my cruise, which is an easy one because it's coming up like February 1st. So that's literally only a month that I have to not just go nuts and buy a million games and start playing this one, and then the next one comes out the next week, so I have to abandon the first one and then start playing the next one, and then something comes out the week after that. So an easy one for me to keep, especially because I might just play Vampire Survivors all month and never play anything else. So, I already have it, so...
But you're going to miss Forspoken. Isn't that out this month?
Now, okay, here's the thing.
Like, wait
See,
a minute.
now, see, what's going to happen is that disincludes pre-orders. So as long as I pre-order that tonight or tomorrow as we're recording this, technically it's not new because it's
It
pre-ordered.
doesn't count because it was already in the system before the bell tolled.
And honestly, when you said it, I thought I was going to say I already pre-ordered it, but I looked at it and didn't pre-order it because I had to go do something.
Mm-hmm.
So it in my brain was already pre-ordered. So it. Look, I'm making excuses, but it technically doesn't count. I
then
mean,
you better hurry it up. You got 2 days before that bell tolls, and less than that because we're actually at the end of the one almost. So
yeah.
You better friggin' not forget that. You're gonna be screwing yourself over.
I'd be so sad. But anyway, there's 2 New Year's resolutions from me. I got a few more, but Eric, what you got?
All right. So one of them this year is gonna be play those damn Switch games. I don't want to give up on this one. I don't want to give up on it. There's too many good games on the Switch and too many good games that I actually own. As I talked about last year, I have to do this. I have to get them on here and just play them and have a good time with them. The problem this time around wasn't, like last year I whined and cried, I don't want to play it handheld. Well, I got the extra plug-in unit, did all that, so it was able to be played on the big screen here, down here. The issue this year was just like I said, I ran out of time. I feel like every time I turned around, there was a new game on PlayStation that I was supposed to be playing or should be playing. So I never got time to just look at the Switch and sit there and focus on it. I'm really enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles 3, though. So I think that's going to give me the oomph I need to at least get through that one. And Metroid Dread, there can't be but like 2 or 3 Emmys left. So I'm like, I need to put that under the boots. And beyond that, I don't know. I should go play a couple more, but at least if I do those 2, I'm going to count it as a success. I don't care. It's a mild cheat, but they're 2 big games. One of them I already mostly finished, but the other one I still got probably 70, 80 hours to go on that bad boy. So I'm going to go for that, and if I can do more, I will do more. Like I said, I own a bunch of good games on it, so we'll see what happens. But the second one is I bought Stephen King's newest book on my Nook, and for about 4 or 5 days when the girls were doing dance, 4 or 5 days, throughout the week, because they go twice a week, you know what I'm saying, I was reading it, and I went, oh yeah, I love books, I love reading. I haven't read in like 2 years almost. I should read again. Reading's cool. This year, 4 books have to be read. I need to read 4 books this year. I want to make sure that happens. And doing it, I want to make sure I take my kids to the Barnes & Noble, sit down. We used to do it quite a bit, but it hasn't been happening as much lately. Get some coffees, hot cocos, cookies, and just sit and read our favorite books for a few hours or until the kids are just so antsy that they can't possibly sit anymore, and then go. That'll help me, of course, get through said 4 books, but I just think that's kind of the push I need to keep it on track. So for me, those are 2, Matt. 4 books need to be read by the end of this year. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying they have to be big ones, small ones, whatever I'm interested in. And it also includes rereads. So if I get a hankering to go reread Robert Jordan, that's fine. As long as I read 4 books.
Don't read that again.
Why? I love it so much. It's the best.
Just keep it in your memory and read some new books, Eric. I'm telling you. There's too many books.
There's lots of
How are you going to get 4 if you got to read 13? I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I probably won't reread Robert Jordan. And if I did, it would only be the last 2 because those are the 2 I've read the least of.
Yeah.
And especially the last one. I've only read the last one time. So I'm like, man, I'm really due for a reread on that. But most likely I'll read new books because, like you said, there's so many good books out there. There's actually a lot of good reads that I was interested in, reading because, like I said, I go to Barnes & Noble and I'm looking at the new releases. I go over to the fantasy section and I'm just like, what's over here? What's going on? Ooh, this looks interesting. I like this author. What are they up to? And there's so much I've missed. There's so much. So I don't think I'll be rereading anything. You don't have to worry on that front.
My next one is definitely is going to happen one because it's also gaming related, and that is play. I got a whole slew of games here that I have to play in the next year. And I say a whole slew, there's like 5 or 6, but they have to get done. The first one is A Plague Tale: Innocence. I have it for free on PlayStation. Obviously, Requiem just came out. Got a lot of good buzz. It was up for Game of the Year in a lot of circles. So I haven't played either one of the games. I think I know the story of the first one, but nothing in it, like specific moments, any gameplay, have been spoiled for me. So I'm excited to try that out and play it. Another game, basically the same thing. The sequel came out and it was up for Game of the Year. I got to play God of War 2018. You've talked all about it, saying how awesome it is. Everyone else has too. I have it for free on PlayStation. I might as well just play it. And if I don't like it, I mean, when I'm saying I'll play these, if I don't like any of them, I don't have to go through and finish them or whatever. But the games that have been talked about that I have to at least try. Next up, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I heard about that from our buddy Jim Ferranda and maybe some other person on YouTube. I've never heard you talk about it, so I figured, they know what they're talking about. So I got to see what all the buzz is about. That's on the list. Also, it's installed on my PS5 here, ready to go, along with all the rest of these games pretty much.
Have you booted it up once, Matt?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, no. I think I hit start on it once, and I went, not today, no, and I shut it down.
You should boot it up and listen to the intro song.
Okay.
And then I'll bet you, it's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. That intro song is gonna get you, boy. It's gonna get you right in that game.
Well, I'm going to change my resolution to listen to the intro song. Maybe I won't play it. Maybe I'll just listen to the intro song. But I'll listen to
the intro song. That's fair. I can do that because it's gonna get you.
I am looking forward to it just because, I mean, I did a bunch of big RPGs last year, but I'm ready for something different. Obviously, it's different. It's different.
And it's not super big.
So.
I think this one, I can't remember if it was 35 or 55.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, maybe it was 55, but still, it wasn't like a 100-hour one.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely on the list. Next up on the list, ever since I got done with Elden Ring, I watch videos about Elden Ring. I watch videos about the Dark Souls. There's one guy who did I can't remember how long the video essay is. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 hours, but I put it on in chunks as I'm, taking my shower. There's no podcast I want to listen to. Let me just put that one on and then listen to it as I make breakfast. And then when I get home, I put it on while I'm doing something else. So I've gotten just like that itch for maybe I should play a Souls game. So that's what's on here, a Souls game. What I have downloaded on the PS5, Dark Souls Remastered. Again, if I play it and I'm into it, sure, I might play through it and beat it. If I play through it and I don't like it because it's not like Elden Ring or, anything like that, then, hey, at least I tried it. But like we talked about in the Game of the Year discussion about Elden Ring and Souls, I've never even tried to play regular Dark Souls, at all. Back in the day, currently, nothing. So I'm going to give that a shot. And then the last game or two that I am going to play is I'm going Captain Ahab this year. I'm going to slay one of the white whales. I have 2 white whales in gaming. One is Xenogears. One is Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm going to play and beat one of those games. Now, if I play Metal Gear Solid 5, I'll probably continue my old save and just finish out the story and all the side missions and stuff. If I play Xenogears, Eric knows this, I have a PS3 version save of it right at the final dungeon. That's not what I'm doing. I'm starting a new game. I'm playing it. I already talked about I have it set up to play on my new screen as fine as it could possibly be. I will go all the way through it and finally beat it. So one of those 2 games, one of the white whales, is going down this year. It's got to happen because otherwise I'll just always be talking about them. Oh man, such a great game, but never have beaten it. Ha ha ha. It's not a bit anymore.
No.
I'll play through and beat them. I can officially say, I love both games. They are great games. They're perfection in my head as it is anyway, but now I can officially put the little check mark there. And that was a long, rambly one, so I'll throw it back to you, Eric, and then we can finish up with mine or whatever.
Gotcha. Well, you spoke of a white whale. We already know what my white whale has always been, but Matt's pushed it to the point where I have to because my favorite games are behind this one. Callisto Protocol and Dead Space. He needs me and wants me to stream these. But we know my track record for getting back into streaming since the original Go has been abysmal. In fact, I didn't even put it on last year's. I said I never would. It's over. I'm not going to do it. But I'm good at doing it because I want to play these damn games. I pre-ordered Callisto Protocol, got that, and it's just been sitting there. And it's driving me insane. I want to play this game. I've heard so much good and bad about it, and I want to get in and make up my own mind on it. So I can have that opinion, so I can know whether it's good or bad for me. And then on top of that, guess what else I've ordered? Dead Space. The remake's right there. coming. Tick tock, tick tock. End of January it hits. So I only have a month to get through Callisto Protocol before Dead Space hits. Otherwise, Dead Space is going to hit, and then I got to make a choice. Which one am I going to play first? I don't know. That's a tough one. And I don't want to have to make that choice. But it's quarter end and tax end. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I know what will happen is I will be getting up that damn stream so I can at least play the stinking games. And then if it goes to hell, it goes to hell. I'll say I did it. Hoorah, I gave it a good go. There were some streams of Eric up on there again. You saw me, I did it. But if I have a computer problem, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to keep doing it. But if it works out, by golly, we're going to get on there and at least this year play the Dead Space and Callisto Protocol for the stream. That's a white whale. I hate even talking about it. I don't even like saying it anymore, but I have to at least try to push myself. Otherwise, like I just joked with Matt, the games are going to just sit there and then I'll never play them. And then I'm going to look back next year and go, what's happening? I didn't play like 2 of my favorite games ever because of the stream. Oh, sad face.
I will say I appreciate that you actually stuck with your guns, and I joked with you before about, well, I keep waiting for you to just say, yeah, I just started playing it and I don't care. And even on my end, like I've watched a couple reviews of Callisto, one that was like, hey, this is great, and one that was like, this is the worst game I've ever seen. And I've even put up like twice a stream of somebody else doing it, and it's usually some just complete bozo. And I'm like, this isn't even engaging for me because it's not. I mean, A, it's not you playing it, and B, they're like terrible or they're not focused. I'm just like, okay, I can't even do it.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. There's a lot of streams where they're being more of a streamer instead of actually playing the game.
Yeah.
Because a couple times I've been like, oh, look, I'll at least get a taste of it and go watch a little bit. And they're just standing there, talking to chat and hanging out. And at like 30 minutes, and they've moved like one room. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. This ain't the taste I want. I want to get into the game and play the game and not watch somebody clear out 3 baddies, stand there and talk to chat about, whatever the hell's going on for 20 minutes.
I think the worst one I saw, and I don't remember the streamer's name, so I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but she was like, yeah, I think the combat's just so simplistic in this game. I don't really like it. And like as soon as she walked into a room where there were bad guys on the other side of the room, you could hear her mouse just going tick, 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 tick. So she would just like walk across the room swinging. I'm like, you're not engaging with the combat. So to say that it's not a good system, I don't think you understand. Whatever.
I don't think you get what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely. So, yeah, that doesn't satisfy it for me. I got to get in there and play it myself. So, looking forward to it. We'll see if we can we got a little time in between quarter end and tax end, so hopefully we can take advantage of that. And, of course, I'm not at work all the time, so maybe in this coming week here I can start to tick-tack around while everybody's at work. That might be a good spot to do it.
The next step for me, it's the doubtful one, but it's the one that I have to put on my list every single year, and that's actually get back into exercising and losing weight. It obviously ties into your happiness and your overall like mental attitude, mental health, however you want to think about it. Back when we were rocking and rolling, we were those guys who were always happy all the time. Ever since we've fallen off and other things have happened in life and whatever, we've been just the Grumpatron dudes. So it's on the list again. Just because I failed so many times, I feel like I'm not going to do it this year, but I have to put it on the list and at least try. So exercise and losing weight. And then my last one I put in here is just, I don't know. I put happiness with a question mark. I put job with a question mark. And I even wrote, I don't know, dude. Because being happier could coincide with something at work if something happens, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And even if it happens and I'm not super happy, I need to figure out a way to just be happy Matt again. Just like you said, like we said last year, just kind of turn that key and just be like, all right, I'm here for, if it's work that's making me miserable, I'm here for 7.5 hours. It's not that big of a deal. As soon as I get out, I'm back to regular. Don't just carry around just a kind of attitude like I have lately. So they're on the list. Even saying it and wanting to be hyped to do it, I feel like I'm not, but I have to put them on the list because I have to do it because I'm just, I said it last year, I'm not a very happy dude very much anymore, and it makes me sad that I'm not happy. So it's just a boulder rolling down the hill. It's a snowball just getting bigger. So got to do something about it somehow. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. It's one of those things, but it's starting to be that tradition of saying it and not doing it. And then you start to go, well, then I got to just not do it because that's just what it is. It's what we do. Screw it up. And that's terrible. My last one is a repeat because I want the basement to be good. It's not bad down here. It really isn't. But I need to clean it up. You know, I have all these visions for it, and I have all these ideas for it. I think, I don't know if I said it on the episode last year or not, but I even have a Bose sound system sitting here. It's been sitting here for a year and a half almost. The whole thing. Subwoofers, all of it. The whole thing, just sitting there. Super expensive sound system. No, too lazy. Can't fathom getting it hooked up, putting it where it needs to go. It's too much work. Long ago, that would have never happened. Like apartment me or like, old school. I'd have been sitting there giddy with excitement, just tacking in those little nails, just laying it all out, laying the wiring up, getting everything going. I would have not been able to wait until I got it finished so I could pop my favorite movie in or put a game up and just hear the crisp, wonderful sounds. And that's just one tiny example of the way this basement's laid out. I've got shelving units everywhere I could put up to put more of my stuff up and around. Could paint walls, you name it. So much to do down here. And it's all just started with the urinal we joked about. And that's a small step. And I'm hoping that's the step that's going to push it, though. It's like, well, we're here. We're already redoing this whole bathroom. I might as well come into this room, get rid of all the junk we don't need down here. Like, I got like a bunch of bar stools down here. There's no bar down here anymore. So there's really no point to having these bar stools. They're just like 4 bar stools that just take up this huge little quadrant of a corner for no reason whatsoever. Stuff like that. Got to clean it up, clear it up, get it out. I got blankets. I got extra chairs. There's toys that kids never play with sitting down here. It's got to happen, man. We got to get it done this year. The cords, they're still there, Matt. Every day. Every day I look at those cords.
The cords are fine. It's fine. I know you're paying now. So the cords, don't even worry about it. You're not going to look at the cords other than when you go into the dome.
Only when I come down and initially
make sure when you're in the dome, everything is good.
Yeah, when I'm in the dome, that's all it is. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong. It's great. The world is fantastic. And that's what's basically kept me from doing it anyway up until now because it's such a pain in the butt. It's such a headache. And then when I'm here, I don't see him or care anyway. So it's like, Eric, just keep walking for 2 more steps. Boom, now you don't care. Look at that. Everything's okay. But it would be nice, and it would look really nice if I did it, especially when I'm just chilling on the couch, or watching a show, assuming I get everything else set up. Because we got a nice smart LED TV sitting up there. Can do all the finagles, all the cool stuff. And with that sound system, we got a million movies we could be playing. All this, Netflixes are all up on there. Could really turn this basement into like an actual entertainment area instead of just my little den in the corner and just haphazard stuff everywhere else. So that one's on there. It kind of, honestly, even though I failed it last year, the biggest reason I failed it is because I forgot it. I forgot it was on there, to be honest. And then I remembered, obviously, when we did our 6 month, but it immediately just right out the head again because there's so much. I was in the middle of camping and going out and visiting people and doing Kings Island. I wasn't worried about nothing. I was, fall time will come. Fall time. And then fall time hit and we were mopey gropes. And here we are now doing this episode.
I like that one. It's not an official one for me, but there's the table back there behind me. It's got like my board games, a bunch of the cool like Bitmap who does like the video game books. I got a ton of those on there, but I always forget which ones I have because they're buried underneath a bunch of stuff. So I got to get some shelves. I got to get some good stuff going where I can make this little corner my little bunker. Put like the video game books on a shelf here. Clean out this area. Little stuff like that. Just make every place I go, something that makes me happy. Instead of just, there's that stuff to donate sitting in that chair over there again. I'll get around to that someday. So not an official one, but I feel your pain with just getting stuff around, making it nice.
Clean it up, clear it up. That's another thing they always tell you, besides getting in shape and eating right, is to make your den the happy place. Keep it clean and clear, and it'll keep your mind clean and clear. And I believe that 100%. I do honestly think if everything here is cozy and comfy and where it should be and in its place, that brings nothing but happiness.
So that pretty much wraps up the resolution stuff, but let me hear from a week ago, I hear a faint bing bong. What's that noise? A bing bong. Oh, it's a mailbag. From our dear buddy, our favorite patron, Steve Cadwaller. I mean, I shouldn't say favorite patron. We love all our patrons equally, but he did send in the honorable mentions last week, and just after recording time, he did send through his 2 official honorable mentions and his top 5 for games of the year. Since he is an awesome patron, he gets to jump on the show here and close it out with us. So I'm going to read verbatim from his email. It's a long one. I think he took some lessons from Howard here, but we'll try to get through it. So for his honorable mentions, he says, "High on life. As you guys have already called out, the humor in this game and the strong start made this a quick favorite. The platforming and gameplay are mediocre, but that's not what it's about. I haven't beat it yet, but definitely enjoying it. You know I love that one, Steve. You heard the Game of the Year podcast. You know where it's at on my list."
It's wild, man. It's just a good game. I don't believe Matt. I think he's crazy for where he put it on his list, but it's his list, you know. He puts it where he wants to put it, and it's definitely a good game, so I can't complain. And you know what? You got good taste because it is an honorable mention for sure, Steve.
When I laugh so hard, there are tears in my eyes. That's a special moment. Like I just said, I'm a grumpy Gus. I never have fun. That game makes me have fun. You'll appreciate his next honorable mention, which is Cult of the Lamb. This indie game is really well done. I like switching back and forth between combat and base building. My wife and I played this and we'd pass the controller depending on the section. Sacrificing people is just good, wholesome fun. Now, I don't know, Eric. I think Eric's kind of crazy for putting it on his list as high as he did, but you know, it's a pretty good game. It's an honorable mention. Ha ha ha! It's a bit bang, bang, bang. Don't at me.
Now, I don't think you played this one, though, man. That's the difference. Okay.
I saw you play it, though, and just like everybody in the YouTube comments and on Twitter, I saw somebody play it, and I know it's just.
I know it's just okay. It's all right, Gabe. Yeah. Yes, and you are right, Steve. Sacrificing people was the best, and you know what? When they went out and they did something dumb in town, they deserved it. They had it coming, and the burst when they would rebel, when they would get all mad and they're just ranting and pissing off all your other little peeps. Oh yeah, that's it. I never had more pleasure in my life than killing those fools who tried to usurp my throne. Get rid of them.
Next up is a game I'm not familiar with. I recognize the title, but I couldn't place it if you showed me a screenshot of it. His number 5 is Gunfire Reborn. It says this is a smaller title, but they really focus on the gameplay loop in a roguelite. I played with friends and we had a blast. The runs are too long, about 2 hours to beat it, but they rain down a lot of little carrots along the way to make it enticing. Progressively unlocking characters, skills, new weapon abilities. It always felt satisfying to play. Sounds like a good one. I have to look it up.
I know, I'd have to look it up. I swear I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I swear I might have even talked about it before at some point for some reason, but nope. It's off the radar, but gosh bless it, Steve. I'll write it down and check it out.
Absolutely. And a game I don't have to write down is number 4, which is a game I want to play, and I have it free on Game Pass, so I'm going to play it at some point. I almost made it one of my resolution games, but I got too many big games there. Anyway, getting back to Steve's list. Number 4 is Immortals Phoenix Rising. This isn't new this year, but it was new to me on Game Pass. I love Greek mythology, and the character interactions are well done. It's a big open-world game with plenty of little challenges and puzzles to collect. There's daily challenges and a huge world to explore. You also flip into a subterranean world to take on different challenges in order to advance your character in different ways. This is a huge game. Have lots of time if you're going to dive into it. But it looks like such a fun game. I watched a couple reviews of it not too long ago because I had an itch for an open-world game, and it sounded like it was hitting the spot.
You gave me a pass, Steve. Thanks a lot. It takes a lot of time. Make sure you got lots of time if you're going to play
this one.
There you go. I'm out.
Next up on the list, number 3, a game Eric has first-hand experience with, is Diablo Immortal, a mobile game. But man, I've been addicted to it and have played daily for the last 6 months. Diablo does endgame progression so very well, and I wish Borderlands would take some more tips from them. The pay-to-win for PvP is atrocious, but if you're a PvE player like me, you can play it completely free and enjoy it so much. I don't know if I'll get into Diablo 4 next year. I think the easy access on your phone is what hooked me to this game.
Well, let me tell you, Steve, you need to try to get into Diablo 4, because then we could hang out, we could go kill some baddies, some demons together. It'd be a great time. Or right now, go ahead and get little guy daddy's boy or whatever.
Get
Howard.
Daddy.
Get Daddy. Go play with Daddy on Diablo Immortal. He's on there. He's having a good time. you and Daddy could hit it off.
That sounds horrible. That sounds horrendous. So I'm just going to move on to another game you've had firsthand experience with. Number 2, Nobody Saves the World. This title is amazing. It's a Zelda-like game, but you have different archetypes you unlock and level up as you play. Even better, you can mix skills between archetypes, so your classic archer can pull off a warrior stomp when swapped. They even challenge you to do it in order to progress characters in unexpected ways. What's really cool is that you can instantly swap between character types through a wheel, so even mid-battle, you can jump from a magician to a turtle to a dragon and back to a necromancer. Highly recommend this title. Another Game Pass win. That's been on my play later queue on Game Pass for a long time. Maybe, since I have to play a Game Pass game every month, it'll go bloop up to the top of the list now.
You just jogged my memory. That was another one I played.
That's right.
I played at least 10, 11 hours of that game before, I don't know why I stopped. It was fantastic. I had a ton of fun with it. Getting all them abilities, climbing the, getting the little skill trees and getting the different abilities for them. Oh, that was, what a wonderful time. What the heck happened? Why did I stop playing? I don't know. I don't remember. As soon as he said that, I went, wait a minute. I played the heck out of that game. I remember sitting upstairs on the laptop, just going to town with it. That's a good one, Steve. Good pick. Too bad I fell off.
When I started reading it, I was like, that had to have been last year that he played that, because it seems like so long ago, but probably wasn't. I don't know. But back to Steve's list. Number 1, he says, and this one may be contentious, Power Wash Simulator. Yup. This game was the perfect zen that I so needed this year. It taught me that a game doesn't have to be a struggle bus to be fun. Elden Ring. It shows that the experience is why you play a game, and you can make clean, easy progress getting satisfying dings and a goofy sense of accomplishment as you work your way across a firehouse roof. Square Enix made this, and the game quality is there, as well as just a little bit of goofy story to make it fun. Not every level is as appealing, but some are awesome. I never would have imagined the thrill from cleaning an underground subway bathroom. I still pop this game on occasionally for a quick 10-minute fix of chill with some songs, or the best podcast in the world, Third Shift. And I will say, I'll back you up on this, Steve. I haven't played it yet, but I do have it downloaded here to the PC for that exact same reason. I like putting on long-form YouTube stuff and just chilling out. Sometimes I don't want a big, busy thing. Even Loop Hero, sometimes it's kind of stressful. So I downloaded it via the Xbox PC app. I'm looking forward to playing it just because, again, I watched some reviews of it. I've seen some people's like, hey, I'm surprisingly into this. And the satisfying dings, I've heard them in the game. I've seen them. It's going to be a chill, relaxed game. So I'm following your lead, Steve. I'm going to play it.
I know we're all middle-aged men here, okay? But maybe, I don't know, how can you like this game when you should have in real life experienced what it's like to sit around a power washer for hours upon days of pressure washing decks and houses and understand that it is not fun. It is not Zen-worthy. Okay?
I think maybe the key here, Eric, is there's not a paint eater like variety pack of DLC where you just stand there and go and your hands vibrate and you just
your
breathe
whole
in
mouth and nose cancer, and everything becomes black and then you breathe funny for days.
It's just there's grime and you go psh, and when it's gone it goes pa-ching, you did it. So it's not at all like real life.
It's not like a real pressure washer either, where when you get done with one spot, it's all dirty on the other spot that you just did because the dirt leaked down. So what you thought was clean is dirty again. So you got to start over and you do it all over.
I mean, it sounds like you should have just planned better and gone from the top down. And
that's what you do, yes, naturally. But when you do that, it doesn't matter because the stuff that dribbled up into the shingles, and not the shingles, but the tiles or whatever the hell you have there, it drips back down. And then there's more dirt and grime. And then you spray that, and then more dirt and grime.
This is the magic of video games, Eric. How many things have you done in video games?
This is like the Marine Corps ads, okay? Don't you want to be one of us? Don't you want to look at us? And it's an adventure, and you're out there. You're just having a blast, the time of your damn life. It ain't like that. This is the same thing. You're being tricked, people. You're playing these power washing things, and you're thinking power wash is the best. It's not the best. It's the worst.
We're not going that deep. I was just going to say, how many things have you done in video games that were awesome, that are a real chore in real life? Hey, man, when I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas last year, it took CJ 2 trips to the gym to get fully buff and come out like with arms like this. It's just smoothing over the rough edges. Yeah, you had to do it for 2 years straight, every hour of the day to get arms like this. But in video games, boom. Just like Power Wash Simulator, you just go whoosh, and it's a beautiful, nice, clean sheet. I don't know. I've seen it. I'm interested in it. I get what you're saying. But
you enjoy that game, Steve. You enjoy the hell out of that power.
I can see the appeal of this one. You know, maybe you should play it because you know how awful it is, and you're like, "Wow, this is so much nicer.
This is
ting,
better."
Ting, 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 yay!
And I'd be good at it because I've done it so much.
That's right. See. But he closes it out by saying, "There you have it, fellas. Sorry I was cutting it down to the wire and maybe missed the deadline. Have another awesome year ahead, full of more awesome games and your wonderful, sensational 5-star podcast." Thank you, Steve, for dropping in your games of the year. Like we talked about privately via email, I will make sure we definitely get you in next year. I'll put up some notifications on the Patreon so you see it. But we appreciate you. We appreciate all you do for us. And just like we talked about with the Game of the Year episode just yesterday as we're recording this, I like hearing different people's tastes and different styles and lists. I mean, Elden Ring was just an honorable mention of an honorable mention for him. Power Wash Simulator's number one. A bunch of other games I haven't heard of or played. I love hearing this stuff.
Exactly. We talked about it just the other day. It's fantastic. Even though I made fun of one of them, it's all in good fun. It's all in good spirit. It's great. I just love, that's why video games rock.
Yeah.
There's so much to play, so many different things to do, and just going, hey, what'd you do? And there's completely different lists. Because you get in your bubbles, you know, you got your close buddies and pals, and you typically play the same stuff, or at least know and talk about most of the same stuff. And then just to see, you know, someone else you're acquainted with, you say, no, look at this. And you're like, huh, wild. Because that's what this list was for me. I went, wow, that's crazy. I never thought any of these games were going to be on here. Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. And hey, if you want to get in on the action, you can drop us a mailbag question, a comment, a concern, your game of the year via the email thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftMe. You can find us on Facebook under Third Shift. Find us anywhere. We love hearing from the listeners, especially it's a new year. We want your New Year's resolution to be interact with Third Shift more. Send us more feedback. And then my New Year's resolution will be to actually respond to the feedback because I got busy and scared, and I got scared of talking to new people. But next year I'll do better, I promise. So there you go. Boom.
That's right. That's a good one, Matt. We should have had that on a main one, is get the interaction up with the folks. We want to hear from you. We want to get more feedback on what the heck's going on, what you want us to talk about, what just the state of the world is. Doesn't matter. Just want to hear from you. And of course, once we start hearing from you, you know we're awesome. We're having a great time. We're all buddy pals. Head on over to that Patreon. Little tip jar, throw a few bucks in. Help us out. Keeps the lights on, keeps the bills paid, keeps us able to purchase video games without getting murdered by significant others, etc. It's a fantastic thing. Okay? And if you can't do that, though, there's so many other ways to support us. The 5-star ratings we always talk about. Going over to Twitch, Prime subs, or just watching, us play games on Twitch. That's very helpful. Following, the usuals. You all know the rigmarole. You know how you can support us if you want to take the few minutes it takes to do so. And we highly encourage you to do it because it helps us out, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And you can, of course, listen to the very next episode for free on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. You can find that on, as we're recording this now, it seems forever away, on the 12th of January. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Indeed we do. And we want to send off this year, start it off with some 5 stars, all right? So please, I implore you to get out there and throw us some 5-star ratings to start the year strong. You know what I'm saying? Strong, Matt. Strong. You gotta, yes, there you go.
Strong like bull.
Yeah, me good gorilla, me strong gorilla. Make me a strong gorilla this year. You all can do it. I have faith.
There's no better way to close it out. So with that, there's nothing else to say. But
don't forget to say.
Don't forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.